Earlier, we learned about bladder pressure studies and then cystoscopy. We said that most of the urology problems could be diagnosed with these two methods, the bladder pressure studies and the cystoscopy. Today, we'll discuss a little bit about urinary tract stones. The bladder stones or kidney stones have been there for a very long time. They've been found in the Egyptian mummies, and various methods of treatment have been described for the last 300 or 400 years. So it's a very, very old disease. And how common is it? When most people, or at least 1 out of 10 persons, will have a chance of having a stone in the urinary tract during their entire life. And once you have a stone, half of them will have a recurrence within 5 to 10 years. So in other words, it's a very, very common disease. And it's more common in areas where you sweat more, you lose a lot of fluid in sweat. And how do they present? Most of the time, it's a incidental finding. In other words, there's no symptoms. When you do a test for some other things, symptoms, or if you just go for a checkup, if you do ultrasound or if you take an X-ray, you might find a stone. But otherwise, it can present quite dramatically with the very severe pain. The pain, which is due to the renal colic or urinary colic, can be very, very severe, is almost as severe as labor pain. Another dramatic symptom is the blood in the urine. It can also lead to infection and variety of urinary tract symptoms that we described earlier. Why do these stones form? A variety of theories available. What it indicates is that nobody is exactly sure why they form. This is because urine is such a unique solution that most of the substances that the body needs to excrete are present in supersaturation. In other words, the same amount of salts or compounds that are present in water or any other solution, they will precipitate and form stones or clumps. But the urine manages to keep them in a liquid form. And this is a very delicate balance. So once this balance is lost, the stone can form. What do these stones do? Earlier, we discussed about the symptoms it causes. It can cause severe pain. It can cause a little bit of damage to the kidney. It can cause bleeding. But then it's not only these problems which are there with the stones. They can also, as this slide shows, cause other problems. It can cause hypertension or increased blood pressure, which can eventually lead to heart problems. It can cause obesity, it can cause diabetes, and so on. Sometimes these may be the presentation rather than the pain which is associated with the stone disease. And what happens if we leave it untreated? Most of the small stones, which are less than 6 millimeters, they have about 80% chance of passing on their own. All they need to do is drink plenty of water to pass about 3.5, 4 liters of urine in a day. Sometimes they might form what is called a staghorn calculus, or a very large stone which can fill almost the entire kidney. And as this diagram shows, the stone, when it's coming down, can get blocked in various places. In some places, the ureter or the tube which comes from the kidney to the bladder passes over blood vessels or muscles and so on. So there is chance of the stone getting blocked in those areas. And another area where when it enters the bladder is fairly narrow and has a valve mechanism. So these stones can get blocked in these areas. So they, in addition to the symptoms, they can also, as we saw, can cause a lot of other problems. In the next video, we will discuss how do we diagnose and manage these stones.